I'm not bothered. Listen, I'm a fighter, and I fight every time. Whether I've even got one hand.
In the unforgiving world of heavyweight boxing, power isn't just a weapon, it's the language of destiny. It's the echo that fills arenas, the force that can rewrite a man's life in a single second. Through the years, we've seen giants rise and fall. Warriors whose fists spoke louder than words, whose names became thunder in the halls of history. And now, a new storm is forming on the horizon. A collision between two eras, two spirits, two fighters who embody everything that makes this sport immortal. One is a young lion from Britain, barely into his 20s, but already carrying the poise of a legend in waiting. The other, a proud Mexican warrior who once shook the world and wore the crown of heavyweight glory. It's Moses Itauma versus Andy Ruiz Jr. A battle between the future and the past, hunger and heritage, precision and heart. Moses Itauma is only 20 years old, but his presence feels older than his age, as though he's been carrying the weight of destiny since birth. From the moment he steps into the ring, his aura commands silence. He doesn't rush. He doesn't panic. He moves like a man who knows that time bends for him. Quick, fluid, and unnervingly calm, Itauma is unlike any heavyweight before him. His punches are clean and sharp, like sledgehammers disguised as silk. With a flawless record of 13 fights, 13 wins, and 11 knockouts, he has transformed every ring he's entered into a masterclass of destruction. Fighters come in confident, ready to test the hype, but within moments that confidence melts away into confusion. Because Moses Itauma doesn't just fight, he dissects. In his rise, he's become the face of British boxing's new generation, a rare combination of youth, intelligence, and raw talent. His fans call him the prodigy, but the truth runs deeper. Every jab he throws carries thought. Every hook is laced with purpose. He fights with the mind of a grandmaster and the reflexes of a cobra. There's no wasted movement, no flash for the sake of it. Just pure, efficient violence. When he steps through the ropes, you can feel the shift. The audience holds its breath. He's not there to perform. He's there to conquer. But in boxing, destiny always has a challenger. For Moses, that challenger comes in the form of Andy Ruiz Jr., a man who knows exactly what it means to defy expectations and silence the world. Ruiz, known as the Destroyer, became a living legend the night he shocked the planet by defeating Anthony Joshua. That victory didn't just crown him the first Mexican-born heavyweight champion in history, it redefined what greatness could look like. He wasn't sculpted like a Greek statue. He didn't have the build of a superstar, but beneath that unassuming frame beat the heart of a lion. And when the bell rang, he reminded the world that appearances mean nothing when your soul is forged in fire. That fateful night in 2019 still echoes through boxing lore. Ruiz, the underestimated underdog, walked into the ring as a replacement opponent, a man many expected to be another easy chapter in Joshua's reign. But in the blink of an eye, he turned that script to ashes. His hands moved faster than any heavyweight had a right to move, his combinations bursting like machine gun fire. Joshua hit the canvas again and again, the audience stunned into silence. When it was over, Ruiz stood atop the world, a symbol of pride, resilience, and impossible triumph. Mexico had its champion, and the underdog had become the king. But fame is a dangerous friend. The months that followed brought distractions, comfort, and complacency. In the rematch, Ruiz was heavier, not just in body, but in spirit. The fire that had fueled him flickered beneath the weight of his success. Joshua reclaimed his belts, and Ruiz's reign ended as quickly as it began. Yet true champions aren't measured by their wins. They're measured by how they rise after defeat. Ruiz went back to the grind, back to the sweat and sacrifice. He trimmed the excess, sharpened his focus, and reminded everyone why he was called the Destroyer. Against Chris Arreola, he fought like a man reborn. Fast hands, fearless heart, relentless pressure. Even when he was knocked down, he rose with vengeance. That is Andy Ruiz Jr., a fighter who refuses to stay broken. Now, with years of battle behind him and lessons etched deep into his soul, Ruiz stands at another crossroads. Leaner, wiser, and hungrier than ever, he's ready to prove that his story isn't over. that he can still shake the world one more time. But standing across from him is a new kind of challenge. A young, unbeaten force with everything to gain and nothing to lose. The destroyer meets the prodigy. Experience faces evolution. Heart collides with precision. Moses Itauma's rise has been like a meteor cutting through the night sky. Impossible to ignore. Each fight adds another layer to his legend. Against Mike Balogan, he didn't even break a sweat. A few measured jabs, a perfectly timed feint, and one devastating hook. Fight over. Commentators compared him to Tyson, but in truth, he's more patient, more surgical. Tyson fought with fury. Itauma fights with inevitability. He doesn't chase chaos. He creates order in the storm. That's what makes him terrifying. He doesn't fight with emotion. He fights with calculation. His face remains unreadable even as he delivers knockout after knockout. Every movement is a study in balance. The stillness before the storm, the quiet before the roar. He's the kind of fighter who could dominate an era, but only if he can answer one question. What happens when someone refuses to fall? That's where Andy Ruiz Jr. comes in. Ruiz is no stranger to pain or pressure. He's been dropped, doubted, and dismissed. But every time he's come back stronger. His chin is iron, his will unbreakable, and his speed deceptive. He throws combinations that shouldn't be possible for a man his size, overwhelming opponents with flurries they never see coming. He brings chaos into the ring, the kind that breaks rhythm, that tests the soul as much as the body. Itauma's composure will face its greatest test against Ruiz's relentless attack. Because Andy doesn't just fight you, he drags you into the deep end, where endurance and heart decide everything. But Itauma is not like anyone Ruiz has faced before. His timing, his patience, his ability to think 3 moves ahead, they could be the difference. He's not just fighting to win, he's fighting to take the torch, to prove that the new generation is ready to inherit the throne. For him, this isn't just a fight. It's destiny manifesting in real time. Imagine the night it happens. The arena lights dim, the crowd buzzes with anticipation. 2 nations on edge, Mexico and Britain, both holding their breath. On one side, Andy Ruiz Jr., his face carved by years of battle, his eyes burning with pride. On the other, Moses Itauma, calm and focused, every muscle coiled like a spring. The bell rings, and history begins to write itself. The early rounds would be chess at lightning speed. Itauma's jab slicing the air, Ruiz bobbing and weaving, waiting for an opening. A feint, a counter, a test of nerves. Then the exchanges start. Bursts of violence between moments of silence. Ruiz presses forward, forcing the pace, trying to pull Itauma into a war. Itauma answers with precision, refusing to lose his rhythm. Round by round, the story unfolds. Youth trying to conquer experience, and experience fighting to remind youth that survival takes more than skill. As the fight deepens, fatigue creeps in. Muscles ache, lungs burn, and every punch lands heavier. Ruiz's pressure intensifies. He throws in combinations, each one testing Itauma's composure. But the young lion doesn't break. He adapts. He slips. He counters. The crowd feels it. This is no ordinary fight. It's a passing of eras in real time. By the championship rounds, both men are running on heart alone. Sweat drips like rain, bruises bloom like battle scars, and yet neither backs down. Every exchange becomes a statement, a declaration of willpower. This is what boxing truly is, not just about who hits harder, but who refuses to fall first. When the final bell rings, there will be no losers, only legends. If Itauma's hand is raised, it will mark the birth of a new era. The young prodigy stepping into the pantheon of greats. If Ruiz wins, it will be redemption. Proof that the old lion still rules, that experience still has its throne. Either way, the world will have witnessed something rare. A moment where greatness met greatness. Because this fight would not just be about belts or records. It would be about legacy. About what it means to fight when the whole world is watching. About how 2 men from 2 very different paths can meet in the center of a ring and remind humanity why we love this sport. It's the story of hunger meeting redemption, of youth learning from fire, and of an older warrior proving that pride never fades. And when it's over, when the gloves come off and the noise fades, what will remain is the echo of that battle, the memory of two titans who gave everything, the destroyer and the prodigy, the heart and the mind, the past and the future. That's the beauty of boxing. It's not just about who wins. It's about the courage to fight, the will to stand, and the dream to be remembered. Because when titans clash, the world stops to watch. And on that night, under the bright lights and roaring crowd, both Andy Ruiz Jr. and Moses Itauma will prove why heavyweight boxing will forever be the home of legends.